For my reading log this week, I chose to do the Bill Martin Jr. Award, and my book is called Nerdy Birdy. It was written by Aaron Reynolds and illustrated by Matt Davies. And Aaron Reynolds won the award in 2017. This is a concept storybook. It really focuses on the idea of emotion and including others and not being lonely. There is about 40 pages, and I believe that the appropriate age for this book is between preschool and third grade. The summary of this story contains the main character, Nerdy Birdy, and he's not very strong, he's not very fast, but he is really good with books and games. The secondary characters are the cool birdies, and these are Eagle, Cardinal, and Robin. And they have really special talents, like they're really good at flying, they're good looking, and they're good at eating worms. But the Nerdy Birdy just feels so alone when he spends time with them. So he's confronted by a group of other nerdy birdies, and they just confront him and ask him why he wants to be with the cool birdies when he could be with all of them and not be alone. So when he joins their group, he discovers that they're just like him. They like reading and video games and reading about video games. Then comes a new character, Vulture. She is neither cool or nerdy, and she's rejected by both groups. But when Nerdy Birdy sees this, he really understands what it's like to be alone. So he makes friends with Vulture, and he leaves his group of nerdy birdies. And even though Vulture and Nerdy Birdy do not have anything in common, they find comfort in each other, and they really enjoy each other's presence. And they are willing to accept anyone, no matter if they are cool or nerdy. The illustrations in this book are a combination of dark pen lines and watercolor. They've got a lot of texture and depth, and they're really an important part of this story because they tell the strong emotions that are going on through each character. The background's really blank and white, and I believe that's so the reader will focus on the characters and their expressions. The plot is that Nerdy Birdy just wants to be friends with the cool birdies. However, they do not have friends. They're lonely birdies. And Nerdy Birdy gets accepted into this group of fellow nerdy birdies that really enjoy everything he does. But when the new bird, Vulture, is rejected, Nerdy Birdy feels really bad, and he knows what it's like to be lonely. So Nerdy Birdy becomes good friends with the Vulture, even though they have nothing in common. And they are welcome to everyone, no matter how cool or nerdy they are. The setting of the story takes place outside, mainly on the ground or in the tree or on a telephone wire. And like I said, the background is empty, but it just resembles areas that birds like to gather. And the theme is that no one should be alone. It does not matter the differences that you have. Friendship can be found in the most uncommon places. My personal response is that this book is great for young children who are establishing a knowledge of emotions and friendships. So it's good for children who are just beginning their school career. They're trying to make new friends and figure out where they fit in. So by discussing this book and doing an activity, children really begin to understand that their friends do not have to be just like them. They can like different things, they can eat different foods, and they can be physically the opposite. But as long as you enjoy their company, it's better than being alone. An example would be my husband, actually. He was really athletic as a child, and his friend wasn't, and he liked to spend a lot of time on cars and things like working in the shop, but they spent a lot of time together, and he would spend time in the shop and his friend would come to his games, and even though they had a lot of differences, they still were really good friends. The strategy that I have for this book is to read the book and then start with discussing emotions and what it feels like to be lonely. I would ask the class if they've ever felt lonely, and we would reflect on that time. And after we've had a discussion, then we would hand out the drawing material, and they would draw a picture that shows them with a friend or an acquaintance that they had a really fun time with. This picture can be from a classroom experience, a playground experience, or one outside of school, such as a time that they met a new kid at the park and they played for the afternoon. Once they're done with their drawing, we would share the pictures of our story and hang them on the bulletin board.